Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to WAYPN.
Oh, okay, we're doing the test.
No, we're not doing the test, we're
Oh,
live.
okay, yes. Welcome to WAYPN, weekly WAYPN.
The weekly
WAYPN. You were meant to say that. You always say that first, and then I ease in. You know, that's that.
Yeah, I can see you easing in right here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Sunny.
And I'm Cal.
You're Cal. You're Henry, and I'm Sangeet. And
Smooth and well-oiled machine.
No, because he was, silent throughout. He was like, I'm the one who's going to come in strong and correctly. Let Sunny flounder about. Yes.
Okay, guys, so feel free to comment as we go along. Sunny's going to be posting up the live stream on the thing.
Yep.
And, of course, we want to hear what you guys have to say. That's why we have guests on as often as we can.
Yeah.
And let us begin. All right, Alex, would you like to say something about this one? Oh, you know what? Hold up, sorry. We'll get Sunny to read. Have you made your post?
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, I've made the post. I forgot to read. Sorry.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
All right, smooth smooth sailing.
Alex is still going strong. He's still going strong.
All
right. So James says, need some expert advice with this one. I have added 2 reference pictures I have been using to paint Rogue from the X-Men. Cannot figure out what green I should use to match the reference pictures. I added what light greens I own, but not sure what green would work the best to match. All right, Alex, fire away.
Yeah, one is what you want to just look for. Go with Shamrock Green as your base. Make sure you're nice and tidy so you're not going into the yellow because clean up is going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So just neat and tidy, which you're showing with the yellow there. You don't. So start with your Shamrock Green. Go on to skin, just with your highlights, but do it in mixes of Shamrock Green. I would leave them at green unless there's not really any.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. And I think we'll move on from this one because he has given us a bit of an update, and we'll see how things go from there. But then we have even more people pleading for help.
Yes.
So next up, we've got local celebrity Will Smith. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Happy Friday. Healthy and happy. Yes, we are no longer zombies.
Yes, correct.
All right.
We are smiling children, all of us.
Yes, and everything's going smooth. So smooth.
All right, celebrity Will Smith says, anyone had any experience with this particular paint? What did you think of it? How do you use it in your hobby practice? My own opinions listed in the comments.
And I do believe the comments is, it's garbage!
This paint is garbage! I potted because I wanted a cool yellow for painting mixing, but boy was it not worth the money.
Yeah, I think that's just yellows in general, and I think we had this discussion earlier, Alex. Would that be about right? Like, you're just sort of like...
waiting.
Yeah.
Yellows are an absolute nightmare in general.
Yeah.
Across all paint ranges. Army Painter War Paints specifically, they themselves have acknowledged that their range of paints is not great. Which is why, if you've been hanging about in the YouTube space and whatnot, or following Army Painter themselves, you'll know that they've actually got a new range of paints coming out soon. Army War Fanatic range.
Ooh.
And from the hype is worth it at this moment. All the reviews and whatnot and testing that I've seen, it looks like a massive improvement. Not perfect, because no paint range ever is perfect.
Yeah, totally agree.
But from what I understand, because especially if you watch the painting phase, they've just done an entire episode of the Army Paints War Paint, and they say it's up now at the same sort of level as Vallejo.
Yeah, I really like the Vallejo range, and he can get that at our local store. So that's what I would recommend for now. But, you know, we'll burn that bridge when we get there, because I think I might be seeing local celebrity Will Smith on Sunday.
Yes.
So we'll move on to.
Yeah, sorry. I have to answer people's questions. Anyway, Robert Mayer, I just finished up painting my army. I've only played a few games of 10th, so I'm hoping to start getting some in soon.
Yeah, and like
10th is what is 10th edition. Right. Okay.
And I think this is just tabletop from what I'm looking at, right? So
that's what I'm assuming is it's tabletop standard and
Yep.
What faction are these guys?
Ultramarines.
This is Ultramarine.
Yep.
But it's so grey.
Yeah, well, I would say that compared to the standard Ultramarine colours, it's grey, but I don't think that's an issue. But what I do think might be a bit of an issue for you is those dirty big mold lines.
Yeah, I did notice that right
Yeah.
off the bat.
But
again, I think I would follow your usual commentary about mold lines, and depending on what you're aiming for, it may not be the biggest thing to worry about.
Well,
sometimes.
it looks like at the moment what he's trying to do is just smash things out and get them painted. And if you're trying to smash things out, get them painted, mission accomplished, except for this basing. This basing needs work. You just need to add something here. It doesn't matter if it's rubble, doesn't matter if it's some tufts of grass, it doesn't matter what it is, just something.
A little something else.
Yeah, a little something.
It is fully based. It is plain, but he has got a little bit of gravel there, as you can see. It has been painted over. He's painted the rim. It is. I agree with you. I reckon a little bit of base interest, just after a bit of rock.
I think some rocks.
I get it.
Yeah.
But again, if you're trying to do an entire army, trying to get it done, simple basing scheme.
So
at which point you can then revisit.
Well, see, like at this point, like the reason why I say that here is, like he's got his 3 colors with the rest of it, right? Like I treat basing the exact same, just three elements. You know, you got your rocks, sorry, your gravel there, right? Add some rocks, add like some barbed wire, add some tufts, add some different colored tufts, or add some rocks, add some tufts. Like it's not anything crazy, just something small. It doesn't have to be, you know, over the top.
Even just a few different sized rocks just here and there.
Yeah. Or,
it just creates a little bit of visual interest is what you're saying.
Yeah. All right.
100%. A decent base, just can take a model from good to...
Yeah, yeah. And that's my big thing for tabletop. So next up, we've got him again.
Oh, yes. Sir Gamelin, is that how you say it?
I'm not sure. But...
lol, not sure if I spelled that right. Tiny Epic Dungeons. When I saw this, I was like, ooh. I really like it. Like the colors, the way it's so readable. But anyway, I'll let Alex say his thoughts.
All right. What are your thoughts, Alex?
Well, again, it's what you just said, Sonny. It's so readable, especially for the scale. You know, this thing's only 10, maybe 15 millimeters tall.
Yeah.
This thing is highlighted it well for that scale.
Yeah.
It's cool. The lining here on the armor with the gold, you know, and he's hit all his triad of colors, red, blue, yellow.
Exactly.
Yep.
With your hint of your silver there, it works. It's readable, and he's done a good job.
It's so incredibly smooth and clean as well.
Yeah, like this is pretty much everything that I'd say as well. It's just smooth, clean, readable, does everything that you want it to do at that scale. All right, so next up we've got
Jesse G. Haven't gotten to paint in a few months, so going to try to get a whole fleet done tomorrow for a game Sunday. First test ship done.
Yeah,
I haven't run a marathon in a few years. I think I'll do one tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh dear.
Cough button going
Yes. I had to mute him
That
for
said,
this.
look, you clearly going with a very basic scheme. You overbrush silver on a black primer with your highlight, color. You pop a color there with, and realistically, trying to get something done in that time frame. This is what you're after.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of that because, like, this is what we were talking about some months ago when Joseph was like, hit us with criticism, and I'm like, I can't hit you with criticism if you're doing exactly what you set out to do.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell,
Precisely.
with Jesse right here, he's doing exactly what he set out to do. So, no hate. I think you're doing a good job.
Not that we hate ever.
Yeah, I don't think. I think hating takes too much energy.
It's true. But oh yes, I was curious. What is this ship from? Like, is it Eldar or something?
Yeah, it's Dark Eldar as
That's
far
what
as
I
I know,
thought. Yeah.
and it's for. Oh, what is the game now? It's probably gotten a name change since I saw it last. Is it still
Battlefleet Gothic or something?
Yeah, I thought it was Battlefleet Gothic, but is it Imperial something or other now? I can't remember.
It is something.
Yes, but speaking
us-
of it is something, let's move on to
Mr. Joe, because I have been told he does not like JoJo. So
He doesn't like Joseph. Joe is his weak in
JoJo, he said triggered by JoJo. But to be fair, I couldn't tell if he was joking in the text. But anyway, these two are done and going in the base pile. That red cloak is glossy enough that it doesn't show up right in photos. I'll matte varnish it once it's baked. If anyone knows how to take photos of glossy stuff, I'd like to know how. He also won't stand up straight at the moment. The camera also makes my metals look blotchy, possibly because they're enlarged so much. Those irons look super shiny in real life. Now, which model to focus on?
Alright, so let's get your thoughts, Alex.
Yeah, I have no idea how to take decent photos of glossy pictures. I generally douse my things in about four quarts of ultra matte varnish to a photo.
Yeah.
So as for the miniatures themselves, I mean, they've come up really, really well from when we saw them last week.
Yeah.
Especially the one on the left is probably a lot more regal, especially with the addition of using that this leather strap on the bottom of the sword there.
Yeah.
The addition of the brown in the center. Everything seems more.
Yeah.
At this time.
So I'd agree with all of that. I'm like, I completely understand what he says about the shininess, but you know what I reckon it is? I reckon it's this white background.
Yes.
Because that's why I like my grey background. Because
that was one of the things I was thinking. It's probably the white background, and perhaps he might need to diffuse the lights even more.
Yeah, it might be white balancing.
Yeah, and white balancing is just a bit of tricky business there. Even I don't really know too much how to mess around with that. I'm not a photo buff like some of our friends, but the thing is, a thing is going to reflect how it's meant to reflect, right?
Yeah.
And this is just a case of light. So it's either one or the other. Either you matte down the model and take a picture, or you really sort of dim the light's harshness a bit.
Yeah, so I just think kill the white background, make sure that your lights are diffused. That's about all I can say.
Yeah.
So, like, I think maybe a grey or black background, maybe it won't reflect as much. I think grey is better because if you have the black background, the reflection might even peak a bit because it's the only light reflecting, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
just so we're clear here, a good way to diffuse a light is simply to get some baking paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And put it between your light and your subject.
Yep.
That will diffuse the light.
Yep.
So have the most jank home setup imaginable. Have books holding light and a folded piece of black paper. So long as the photo looks good, I'm not going to see anything else. So
Yeah, you're
Yes.
right. You're definitely right on that.
whatever works, it's not stupid if it works.
Yes, yes.
We've
agreed.
actually got a bit further up how to take a good photo in one of our comment responses, and I think just do that essentially.
Perhaps we should make it a pinned content. You know, sometimes you can
Well,
do that in Facebook, like
yeah,
resources and all
maybe
that.
we should remake it. I think even.
Perhaps. Anyway, Robert Mayer says, Zazili, human monk who specializes in the art of slap chop, tiny epic dungeons hero. So he's done a slap chop technique, I bet.
Yeah. So, would you like to share your thoughts with us, Alex?
Sure. I think that common element with slap chop is that people sometimes, not all the time, sometimes don't go bright enough.
Yeah.
So they think, oh, there's lots of contrast there and it's going to be great. And then they put the colors on and it just seems really. The reason why is because, yeah, you got lots of contrast, but you have a lot of black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only want the black in the area.
Yeah.
Then you want your greys. You want to brush just on your whites. And what I'm seeing here is not enough white in the.
Yeah,
I would agree with you
yeah.
100%. Like,
And-
that's the first thing I noticed. It seemed a bit on the dull side.
Because we have his guy back here, right? And we take a look at that, and it's just so clean and beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful model. So we can't say, you know, there's anything wrong with his technique or anything. But I think, like, when I take a look at this, the thing that I think about is this, right? I think that the dark skin has come up well, right? And this is the other part to remember about things when you're doing stuff such as slap chop, right? You don't have to have that be the end of your paint job. You could just paint this blue with a proper blue paint and like allow a level of contrast between things. So you've got a difference of kind. So let's say that this blue of this rim right here was, you know, just a standard blue. Those other slap chop pieces would look a lot better, in my opinion.
100%. I often when I've done my slap chopping on over just a standard acrylic, just to get those extra highlights and a bit of vibrancy. Where I've made the mistake of just not going bright enough in the undercoat.
Like you were saying.
And it just elevates your paint job from standard slap chop, which is great if you're just trying to get a bunch of models.
Yeah.
To something that just it elevates it so much more. And don't get me wrong, again, this thing is only 10.
Yeah.
He's done a great job. There's no denying it. It's readable. He's got his reds, his blues. Each element is defined and easily understood. In that regard, he's achieved his goal, I imagine.
Yeah.
He wants to take it that little bit extra.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think, but comparing with his other stuff, that's why I was just like, just do that little bit extra, and it will make it come up so much better. Sonny, would you be able to message Justin because just I've got the stuff on mute.
Yep, sure.
That's message. All right. So next up we have Sebastian Sanbria J Pyung.
Yeah, J Pung. That's right.
Pung.
Yeah.
Pung.
This was a fun commission. A lot of different textures and materials. Chaos always makes things challenging. Yes.
Yep. Totally agree that you can have a little bit of challenge when it comes to some of the commission pieces, but I'm just going to go through the images while Alex gives us his thoughts.
Yeah, this has come up an absolute beauty.
Yeah.
Seconds, because I accidentally set my page here.
That's all right. So what I will comment on is while Alex is waiting, this is what I was talking about with other elements. So on this guy's base, as far as I can tell, right, there's
A rune.
well, like there's a bit of the base that's already done, but on the area around the base that isn't done right, that's pre-made. Oh,
Blank.
also, hello to Rowan.
Hello, Rowan.
And Rowan has some commentary on the slap chop while we're waiting for Alex to catch up.
Oh yeah, good. We should probably read it. So he says,
I'm back with it all.
"Hello."
Yeah.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. There's the sculpted base, and then you've got this crackle base,
Yeah.
which has been put over this lava paint.
It does look really good at the moment, especially with the contrast between that nice cooler sort of bluish grey rock and everything else. I'm just gonna read Rowan's comment real quick. So this was on the previous post. Depends what type of slap chop you use. Army Painter version 2 and Citadel Contrast. I agree with you, but I use Army Painter version 1 for the bleed through. So I'm not very familiar with Army Painter paints, so I would not be able to comment on that. But that's a very interesting point that he has brought. Right. So back to this one. Why don't you share your thoughts, Alex? You were talking about the base.
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, one of the things that I like most about this, aside from the really clean skin that's done here on the chest and thigh and whatnot, he's done an excellent job there. Because skin tone, getting the smooth transitions between that can be a really challenge and a hassle. But this blue scarring he's done offsets the warmth of the rest of the skin.
Yes.
It's so great because I think he was going for that tortured flesh look on the side where these runes are clearly carved into his skin.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice. It's logical. Like practically speaking, it would be sore and red, but the choice of that blue just makes it even better.
I think the reason he went for that is because there's a model called the Ogrid Thermitage, I believe. And I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I've got it on the website. If you can find it, and I'll
Is it the Minotaur guy with the galaxy effect?
Yeah,
I should be able to find him.
Yes, but anyway, we will let you go, Alex, while Sonny's.
Oh yeah, well, I was just going to say as well, the fact that he's used the same blue inside the scarring as he did more or less with the verdigris, and if you see on the very tips of the hair, lets your eye travel across the model. Something you always want to try to achieve with your models. To have your eye constantly roaming and going, I see what he's done, how he's connected this to that. That's just, it's good. He's done a really great job. You should be proud.
On that topic, Alex, do you have any tips to help people identify where their points of visual landing sites, if you will, would be? Like, how would they choose that?
Yeah, weapons, faces, bases.
Okay.
Yeah. Faces and bases make your models aces. Do believe
faces and bases make your models aces 100%. But also, don't forget your weapon.
Yeah.
Weapons are cool. But you're going to look at them.
That's true.
You want to include those, and the work he's done here on this shield. Just look at that. Done a really good job.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
The other thing I wanted to talk to about this model as well, that is done that I really appreciate, is the two different tones of skin. So you see on the chest and thighs and whatnot, he's got that light skin, and he's got that transition over the shoulders and arms and back there. It's just well done.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree.
Sometimes that is also a hard thing to achieve with the dual tone skins.
Well, you're pretty good at it with the what do you call it? The thingamabob who's Medovit.
Is it the aliens?
No, not the aliens, the hobgoblins you did.
Oh yeah, I did like doing.
But I think I think,
I'm having trouble
unfortunately,
finding that
with the
picture.
amount of time that we have, I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to move on from this one. But what I'm going to say is, here's the things I absolutely love. I love the blue tips on his hair, right? But I think that that could have been pushed just that bit extra to, like, just do, like, ice blue as the very tips. And not on everyone, just to sort of really, really enhance that look. When I take a look at some of the rest of it, like, there's, first off, there's nothing wrong with this model, but there's definitely, I think, different levels of effort. So, like, I take a look at this shield, and damn, it's beautiful. And then, like, I take a look at the skin, and some of the times, it's not quite to the same level that I would say that the weapons are, if you guys are following what I'm saying. Like, it's not that same level of smoothness, right? And what I'm saying is when you're doing models as a commission painter, right? If you have, like, that difference of consistency when it comes to certain things, like, for example, like I said, the shield is just absolutely amazing. The crackle paint with the lava basing, amazing. The actual base that he's on, amazing, right? The skin, I think, is good, but not to the great level that is. And same with the hair, just do that little bit extra. And that's what I'm saying, because when it comes to these things, as a commission painter, people will often look at it this way. It's like the maid's day off. If a maid doesn't do the sheets, that's what you notice more than anything else.
I suppose. Yeah. Okay.
It does. Am I making sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this model. Zero. Zilch. But what I'm saying is, just from one fellow commission painter to another, just try and have your level consistent across the model.
All right.
Yeah.
Next, we have Justin Taylor. The bust is almost finished now. Just need to do a few touch-ups and add a fancy plinth. Fancy plinth.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. No, nothing wrong there.
The woodwork on the box is just excellent.
Oh, I know, right?
That grain on that, it's just sublime.
It just makes me, like, go, oh, okay, I'll just give up now. That's fine. You know, it's fine. I didn't need, a life or anything else. Because, like, when I looked at it, I'm just like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just...
It is just the pinnacle of fantasy, in my opinion. Colors and everything that's come up, the textures. I think the box, the chest, is what truly catches my eye. With
yeah.
You've got that nice desaturated dark brown coming into a nice red chestnut. And then you've got a desaturated sort of tan to buff color. It's just so much nice colors going on. It's beautiful.
And, like, the only things that I could fault on this model, I'm gonna try and open it up a bit closer so that we can zoom in a bit more. The only things that I would fault on it is color choice. So, like, I think maybe this could have been, like, a richer red, rather than this more sort of desaturated one. But, like, that's just personal choice. That's all it is. And, like, when I look at it, there, execution wise, everything is fantastic. There's nothing I see here where I'm like, oh, you could, like, I'm not even sure that I could get to that level with some of it. And I just think that it's beautiful.
I do agree with you on what you mentioned with, like, maybe a more vibrant red, because the tone of the red skin tone with that middle part of the chest piece with the cloth, it's quite similar. So I can understand wanting to have a bit more contrast with. But Alex, what are your thoughts?
I love this model. more because it's a monochrome model than anything. Everything is in that red, orange, yellowish spectrum, except for the hair, which is obviously a shade, not color. So it's a true monochrome. I guess you could say
analogous.
The gold takes it out of specific. It's very, very, very analogous. Not exactly truly monochrome. Good Lord! I mean, I just love it. I mean, this model just screams red.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's just like he's just gone. I'm going to model red, and this is the result. And 10 out of 10, hats off to him.
Yeah.
I think Justin didn't actually intend for it to be this red because he did feel it was too red when we first talked about it. But then you pointed out, you said that go for the monochrome. It's okay for a model to be monochrome, and I think he's sort of come into that and really embraced that concept. But
as he should.
Well, next we will come up.
That's actually something I intend to do at some stage myself. Is just to say, okay, I'm going to actually throw a dart at my color wheel and just say, okay, I'm going to paint this model. And it's just going to be a monochrome model that is just that color.
So there was something our local shop did, which had a color spinner wheel.
Yeah.
Which could be a good tool for you. So just.
I think you can find like those randomizer websites where it does have a wheel, and then you sort of plug in the options, and then you click on it, and then it'll select something for you. But yeah.
Maybe I'll print off a model and let the camera paint it.
Oh, that's always dangerous.
I let comments choose my makeup.
Yes.
One of those videos, yes.
All right. Well, would you like to read out?
We have
our local convert.
Our local well, he's not really our local convert, but I was gonna try and do a bit of an announcer type style situation where we have a new contender, Brushstroke, who is joining the Battle Brothers in a new challenge of Battle of the Deathwings. Who shall win? Okay, done.
I like how it sort of sputtered out halfway through. All right, so it's just the starting of the process. Do you want to say anything, Alex? Or do you just want to sort of leave it there?
Abandoned. Oh.
I'm thinking of which Rocky quote I want to throw out. But no. Look, yeah. I mean, it's too early in the process to say much. He's smooth. I'm keen to see how it goes.
Well, I will say it is very not jarring. I'm not too sure what the word is that I'm looking for. It's just that you and Justin have gone for a very sort of specific vision, and with the bone color and the types of greens that you were going for and everything, right? But it seems Brushstroke is going for the classic, the game box.
I mean, it could be, but he could actually be going that'll end up very much similar to it.
Who knows?
If he throws a glaze of
like a sepia wash,
Dracoth Thresh over it and wash over it with that, or any other thousands of different ways that he could go about it. He could have it looking same as ours, completely different than ours. I mean, this is really just the start of the process, and we can't really decide where he's going to go from here till he's done.
We shall see. We hope you are correct. We hope you are correct, Alex. Because normally Brushstroke does go for a more traditional, stay true to the art type of look.
Much more Games Workshop standard.
Yeah, so that's why when I took a look at the base colors, I already knew that he was going for possibly just the classics. But
yeah,
we shall see.
We'll move on.
See.
It's time to give our local resident a hard time.
Our local resident has disappeared. Bye. Okay. So, half the Stargrave Warband, I'm going for Tabletop Plus, is now completo. Meet Team Darude Sandstorm. Some of these boys are rich daddios, so they've got gold watches and such and rocking the rad purples. Did some true metallic metal for the metals on these.
Well, Alex,
Have at it. Have at it.
I'll stay safe and ask. What do you think?
Oh.
Look, I love it. The vibrant pops of color just work really, really, really.
Mm.
More toned down elements of the clothing,
Yeah.
and the fact that you've got the gold and the wristwatch and whatnot, you're telling a story. You're telling it well. So, yeah. Great job.
Thank you very
Well.
much.
The basing sucks.
Oh, okay. I will seek to improve myself.
Well, to
Sir
be fair,
Alex.
Sunny has asked me to do the basing, but the other thing that she's asked me to do is do sci-fi basing, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll have to find those now.
But you've got the little toppers, you said.
Yeah, I've got the little toppers, but I'm not sure that that'll look as good when it comes on a base rather than being used as the base itself.
I think he just doesn't want me to have a sci-fi base, Alex. He just wants me to do everything dirt and grass, dirt and grass. He only wants dirt and grass.
Moving on, we're going to look at literally anything else. Looks like Andy's up.
Andy.
Time to read out his comment, woman.
Andy says, trying some experiments with my airbrush on a snotling Blood Bowl team. Not entirely sure what I'm doing. Tried some shading and bits and pieces. It's a start. Making use of scale 75 drop and paint airbrush range and finding they work really well.
Like, the only thing I've got to say on this is because I've done up this team before, is why did you fully complete that that wagon? That wagon is a pain in the butt, and if you can avoid having it fully assembled when you paint it, that's the way to go. Because oh my good lord, it's got so many nooks and crannies where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna lose 2 hours.
You know who can help with that?
Who's that?
The Speedwagon Foundation. It's a JoJo's reference.
Alex, you're a sane person. How about we get your
I
commentary?
haven't seen a single episode of JoJo.
It's just a dude named Speedwagon. He's
Well,
one of the characters.
It's Alex's turn to talk, woman.
Okay.
Look, any attempt to use airbrush outside of simply priming might look.
Yeah.
The airbrush is such a versatile tool to achieve so much, and it can be really, really intimidating to try and use it outside of just priming and zenithal.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
good job.
I would really like to try doing airbrush painting aside, like you said, aside from priming. I'd really like to try doing like airbrush painting and see where I get that.
Why do you have a smile on your face like
I
you
don't know.
pooped your pants?
I just wanted you to say something. Well, because it still boggles my mind how Brushstrokes gets his stuff that smooth.
He gets it that smooth by just using only brushes. That's why
I
his
use
name is...
brushes.
Yes, and you want zenithal highlighted stuff, so you'd either just brush paint it from the very start.
Well, he primes with the airbrush. I've seen him do zenithal with
Some
his
of the
airbrush.
times, yeah, but most of the times he just starts just with the just brush. Anyway, reading.
Confusion. Mr. Joseph, he says, next project started. I'm making a big job easier by splitting it into smaller jobs. I've plenty more on my tray, but these are the last survivors from the gambler's chest, and that's a milestone. I have no idea what colors to paint on the smoking lady, so I'm open to suggestions. Also, the khaki hunter has a sash around his shoulders. I've yet to pick a color for. Okay.
All right.
Whatever colour you got to go with your main, go to your colour wheel.
Yep, I'd say that's pretty good. But I will say in this case, just nice mute colors are good for Kingdom Death, because That's what Kingdom Death is about. Using nice nude colors because they're in that dank underworld. Possibly consider, as an example, just going for maybe let the light be your colorful spot. Let those lanterns be your colorful spot and have more mute analogous colors.
Just correct me if I'm wrong. Is Kingdom Death the one where there's no sun, lanterns are the only light sources?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not overly familiar with Kingdom Death or their models.
Yeah.
So I know they've got a style. But,
Yeah.
yeah. No. Well, Ninjon recently did on setting. Did something very much along what you're saying.
Yeah, let the light speak.
Letting the light speak.
Yeah. I think that's probably the way to go. Like for me, I think just like have it be the opposite color of your lantern light and just have those be the main colors. Just leave everything else. So it doesn't matter what color it is, but whatever your lantern light color is going to be, just have it be the opposite of that. So like, let's say that you're going to sort of do a warm orangey sort of thing. Maybe go an adjacent complementary contrasting color of a teal, just the classic movie colors.
Adjacent? No.
Yeah, orange and teal.
You saying orangey yellow or orange teal? Because usually orangey yellow, the adjacent complementary was like a violet color.
No, because we're talking the standard movie colors. That's
okay, then orange and teal, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we've got Andy Dickinson. I also did the 2 coins for the Snotling team. They're the same, so I only photographed one. And I'm trying to do a frost/snow base for my Orc Warlord, although it's not quite there yet.
All right, so Alex, let's hear your thoughts on these ones.
Yeah, bright, vibrant. Well, from not much to say. It's a quality. He's done a good job. I mean, yeah, mission accomplished.
It looks like the colors that he's chosen, something very familiar. I'm getting a very childlike familiarity with the colors that he's using, but I can't put my finger on it. What it's like. Barney? I don't know.
Barney's green and
purple, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that other dinosaur, Baby Bop's brother, he's yellow, red, and green.
I'm sorry, honey, but I don't know the dinosaurs' names. Okay, all right. I just don't know the dinosaurs' names. As for the snow base, I think it's okay. I think it's fine, but I think that rim, once you do the rim, that will really change it. It's like framing.
you need the contrast.
Yeah. Like the framing will really help. And I think the other thing is, she's pointing at a picture of Barney the dinosaur friend.
I will not say his name because as adults we will come up with a very different name for his name. So
okay. Anyway, so the thing is, I think just do that rim and maybe you put a little bit of snowdrift around his shoulders and that sort of thing to help him sort of tell the story.
You've got a specific type of snow option that you mentioned that because there's many different types of snow.
Yeah,
some of them are like micro balloons or something.
Yeah.
So,
AK Interactive Snow. Yeah, snow. Micro balloons, yeah. So I think like they've got
not the micro balloons one.
So I do believe it is the micro balloons one. It is.
Micro balloons was literally one of the options that showed up on the.
Yeah. So I think that's the. Yeah. Yeah. Go to micro balloons. I do believe this is the one that you're going to want, which is, yeah, it's just sort of a dusting sort of thing. Like on here, it's going to be much more like the old GW snow. When you get it in the thing, it's going to be like finer than a static grass. So like that's the way that I'd recommend.
Yeah, because currently it could be the angle that it's shot at. It does look a bit messy, but I think once you add a bit of snow, drifts and piles of things.
I don't think it's that. I think it's a lack of framing. But we'll move on. So it's Member Monday, and I wanted to thank Alex. Thank you, Alex, and Justin.
Welcome.
Justin is not here. He's here in spirit. And then we found out that yes, the Zuck does suck, because I'm like, all right, let us welcome our newest member, my brother. Wait, why would have he unsubscribed? And he's like, I didn't.
He doesn't like you anymore.
Yes, well, so such is life. Next up, we've got James Salisbury, and
yes.
He's done his update.
Quick update with what I have been working on last couple of days. Hard to believe they both were only primed last week and now almost finished. Got some highlights to do, but I'm very happy with how to Flames came out and both women's costumes. I was going to do a bone color for the skeletons, but after Google Images showed what burn bones look like, I went with a more dark brown color.
Yeah, sorry, I'll throw to Alex first.
Zombie Phoenix one.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love the sculpt. I love the work there, the skeletons inside it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got that cool factor.
Yeah.
Work on the skin, very clearly zombified and smooth. The rogue figure, done a good job with the green, nice and clean.
But
I will contrast on the jacket and the shadows.
I will say something on the green though. Like, if you are aiming to sort of step your green up, you really need to push those highlights, because at the moment it's almost all the same value as far as I can see when it comes to the green.
I would actually disagree there, and I think it's because the saturation level for the yellow and the green is quite bright. I think he might.
I think he was trying to go with the reference material there. On that brightness.
He might need to shadow it a bit more.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's shadow or highlight. The thing is, like, there's not a real level of contrast there. But the other thing is, the grass down here just needs a dry brush to bring it up, because at the moment it's just sort of how could we say, bit dull.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bland.
Yeah, bland. Thank you. And that's about it. I don't think that there's anything bad about it. And I know that he's just trying to smash through these things because he's like, I have so much of them. But I'd still take that little bit of extra effort, because that is one of the hero models, the rogue, as far as I can tell. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, we see in the later post how many models he's got.
Yeah.
This is heroic effort. Like, seriously, I've never been able to achieve anything.
Yeah.
Hats off to him.
All right. So next up, I'll just talk about this quickly. We're going to change how we're going to do things in the near future. We're going to have Talk Tuesday is when we're going to ask people to come on to here. Each week
to guest on the review show.
Yeah, but one of the things is this one wasn't one of our more popular ones, but I know why. Using references is boring, right? It's just one of those art fundamentals where it's like, you need to use references, and it's like, yeah. And
I thought it was quite an informative, like, like we go through how to find good references, and I think that's something that I thought people would be find useful.
Yeah. it's good, it's useful, right? But people just don't find this kind of advice exciting. So I just wanted to ask you, Alex, do you use references?
All the time.
Yep.
Absolutely, without question. AI is also a really good way to get some as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you put in, like, okay, say, for example, I'm painting a human ranger used to live in the streets but has become rich, and you throw that into AI and it will spit out a whole bunch of different options, and you just go, okay, these are good references. Take what you like from each one to you're going to be doing, or none of it. You still got ideas. References just from reading books, you know.
Yeah.
If you love Lord of the Rings, how is Aragorn described? Another really good one for references that I found is Magic the Gathering art books.
Oh,
They are invaluable as a reference.
Magic the Gathering has such good art. I gave up Magic the Gathering because of cost and because of cultural reasons, because like I think that they just sort of dived off the deep end. But they like there's one thing that you can never fault them for, and that is stuff like
treatment of
like they've always treated their artists well, and they've always taken great care with their art. But we're gonna speed things a bit long next. So next up, this guy we don't need to worry about. Right.
Yeah, don't bother with this fella. Just
Yeah.
Just skip.
All right. Well, would you like to read out your comment?
I was just calling him done for now. I'll be adding some pigment colors when I base him. I incorporated some of Justin's elements. His elements, specifically the white purity skulls, red of the bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty chuffed with the freehand that I did design with the horns, I guess you call them.
Yeah.
Less battle damage on this one simply because the captain is probably more experienced at not getting.
So there is one thing that I'll say on this, like I am missing your battle damage, because I think that for me, when I take a look at it, I understand your logic of he's the one who hasn't gotten hurt, but I think for me,
I'm gonna have to level with you, Henry.
Yeah,
Henry, I'm gonna have to absolutely level with you. That's not really the reason. I was just being.
I knew it.
I just couldn't be bothered. I have since added a little bit of battle damage. You'll see that in the next.
Okay.
I'll point out.
Alright.
But no, straight up, I was doing that little shield there with the transfers, and that was enough annoyance for me just to go, what? Stuff it.
Yeah.
Done. I'm sick of this. Just put it on the base. Let's go.
I understand
But
what you're
I tell you what, the elements that you stole, like the red of the bolter, the way that you
that just looks much.
I think it comes up very nicely.
Yeah.
It's a nice smooth transition. I like this white a bit more than Justin's because, like, I think with Justin's it was a bit flatter, and you've gone for a like strong level of contrast. Like right here, we've got that grey, and we've got the grey up here, and it's just those pops of contrast in color. I think really push it, but I think having the black script, I'm not sure about that because it's just so stark. Like, it can be good, but I think maybe, like, more a warm brown, say, something like using a Cygor brown for it. You know, using the contrast paint to get that scripting. That makes sense.
Do you remember how last week I said that I'm not great lines when we're Sunny's computer screens?
Oh, yep.
I did this with a 0.05 fine line.
All right. Fair enough.
Suck at it. I just suck at it.
Well, I quite like the
0.05.
No, like, because, like, that was the only reason why I was sort of like, yeah, like, I was like, yeah, I think this is good, but I thought, you know, like, that would be more in theme, but no, that makes sense now. All right.
Yeah,
So
just to for people, it's fine. After you're done and it's dry, always put a matte varnish over it.
I
Yeah.
see.
Prevent any possibility of off,
Mhm.
and it will get glossiness. Because if you just leave it as is, it'll be glossy and nasty and very nice. But you have to wait for it to dry. So when you put your paintbrush over it with varnish, preferably you have an airbrush, you can airbrush the varnish on. It'll just come straight.
Right. Okay. That's a good tip.
and just before we move on, I really do like the purple thorn
I
design
want-
added to it.
I wanted to say
Oh, thank you.
when I saw it, I thought like, was that the lost my a tyrannid
It's not
tyrannid. I thought it was like Tyrannid Fang or something like that. And there was like, did he fight a Tyrannid and use that as a like a token, a trophy? But then I didn't realize it was actually a freehand design that you were going for. But it is really nice.
So we've got James in the comments, and he said all of the commentary that we've said was fair, and we just wanted to go over this bit here where he's talking about how much he's gone through. We've been trying to move along through quicker on things, but I think with this, I just want to reiterate what Alex has said. It is a heroic effort because I think what happens is a lot of people, when they look at this, they just look at that mound of plastic models and they just go, you know what? I'm gonna give up. And like, let's take
I
a
would be sort of,
let's take
I was just going to say, I would absolutely just say, yeah, no.
yeah. But I mean, what's this? So we've got 4, 6. So that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 60 models there, painted up. Plus these guys over here. That is a damn lot of models. And like, let's just give a good old tip of the hat to James, because that is a heroic effort.
Seriously.
Because a lot of people
Absolutely.
will not get to that level. And we've got more from Robert Mayer. He's absolutely been smashing it.
And this one's looking a lot like the knight that you
Yeah.
painted
I
earlier.
like
I
this
like it.
one more than I liked the slap chop one. I think this one looks quite nice and neat. But I should throw to Alex because he is our guest.
Well, yeah, I mean, much as what was said before, I guess the advantage of having such small miniatures is you can smash them out rather swiftly. Despite the speed with which he's been doing a great job. You can see clearly it's highlighted on the edge here on that skirt. He's got that nice edge highlight there. Hair's been highlighted nicely. He's got that hands. I guess this is a magic user of sorts. Easily readable. The neutrality of the skirt doesn't take away from gold, red that's going there. So, again, just, no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, one of the things that I'd like to point out with the highlighting is he's actually done a gold trim on those vestments or whatever.
The collar vest here.
Yeah,
I noticed that as well, and I was just like, wow, that would have taken a lot of steady work to do that.
Yeah, like we see once we're like this level of zoomed up, there's a bit of untidiness, but you got to remember this is a 10mm model, and like that is intense. That's fantastic. So I just want to say, good on him for that one. And it looks like we've got some more Robert Mayer coming up.
Laura Gambit, 100% slab chop, black primer, 2 shades of grey, dry brush, then light white dry brush contrast. Unfortunately, this one's having the same issue as the other slap chop model, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair comment. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, it's running up against one of those other slap chop that you see here.
Yeah.
Very, very prevalent in slap chop.
Yeah.
Just due to that sort of drying effect. I think that comes again. get a hold of Artist Opus on tutorials on dry brushing.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help you get that, eliminate that sort of grayness that you see here. Again, the other way you can do it as well is simply just go over it with some, just touch it up here and there. Just push those highlights to their extremes. Tidy up with some regular, 5 to 8.
Yeah. I think
I would have to agree with
yeah,
that.
I just agree. I think for me, what I would probably do is, once again, very similar to what I said before, just do the skin. Don't do anything else. So just do the skin, leave everything else, and like let the rest of it, look a bit rough and ready. And if you've got something else to focus on, I think that will draw the attention. That's my thought. Nothing other than that.
Alright, so next we've got John Sinesh. Detail by detail, Trug the King of Troggoths is getting worked on. Still lots of work got to do here.
Yeah.
Skin is the largest part that needs to start, but haven't gotten the stone to work where I'm happy with it. And it did a little more work, but better photos.
Yeah, I think that this is looking great, but I think with this, obviously it's a work in progress. So I don't want to comment too much. I do think like the two-tone skins looking interesting. I wonder what he's going to do there. But I'll throw to you, Alex. What do you think of what you're seeing of this work in progress?
Well, like you said, it is a work in progress. I'm not going to comment much on the main.
Yeah.
Because he's in the middle of the process.
Yep.
Trust the process. The process will. What I do want to comment on is just how damn good he's done on that snail shell.
Yeah.
My God,
yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic.
Excellent work.
I'm trying to remember that evil creature thing, the poison dart something or other. We've got one of those things here. The sea slug thing that poisons people here in Australia.
Sea slug.
And it lives in a shell that looks just like this.
I know exactly what you're talking about. For the life of me, I see all the other dangerous animals that we have here as pets.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on then, shall we? So next up we got Justin Gray. Don't need to worry about this guy. He's definitely not been a previous guest or anything like that. So we can move on. But let's just We'll
indulge a little bit.
Yeah, we'll indulge him, and you can read out
what he has to say.
Yeah.
Whip 2 just wanted your feedback, folks, on this initial captain for a new chapter I'm hoping to paint up. He's using a two-handed broad sword, Grey Knight, and will have a discarded bolt pistol at his feet. Going for a dynamic pose, feedback is very much appreciated. I wasn't so sure because when he said two-handed, and he's clearly using one hand.
So I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to have a bit more of an action pose where he's coming up to grab it.
Perhaps.
I'll throw to you, Alex, and then I'll give my commentary.
Well, first and foremost, the fact that he's going with a new chapter, I can understand why he's not here. He's probably in the tender hooks of the interrogated chaplains, as we say. But no, look, it's good. The pose that he's got going on here, as I said to him, it's dynamic. Very clearly, he's in some action or other. I said to him that the four with the captain, my mind here.
That's right.
And in the comments, he actually suggested that he might have fighting a gene stealer, which I thought was just absolutely awesome idea. So I'm trying to push him on that one because it's sick.
The only thing that I'm looking at is I'm not feeling that hand coming to grab the other
Yeah.
one as much. I think it might need to be a bit closer to the body and like reaching down more. But the only other way that I think he could get away with that is if he could maybe do, say, a resin thing where it's dropping from his hand. So like it's actually mid height sort of thing, or you can sort of clearly see that he's dropping it. But like that's the only criticism I had. The reason I say that is last time when he had the helmet that he did, which rolled off, it didn't have that same level of action that he wanted. And I think, unfortunately, it might need some comic style exaggeration.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's all good. So let us move on to.
Oh yes, Mr. Tatey, Mr. Sergeant Tatey, but he's
Yep.
not here today. Jason says it's not too late to whip it. Whip it good. Still needs more fur layering built up, but the initial parts of the dog are done. It was pointed out on review stream that the gap through the dog's head is distracting. I agree fully, but it's just not within my ability to fix such a detailed area,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Why this poor boy didn't get a separate head is beyond me. The gaps is general for the minis were really bad, and I managed to fill all but his poor face.
Yeah. I do believe we actually get to see these guys finished up a bit further on. So I just want to, so I think, oh no, that's a completely different guy. All right, well,
That's
we'll give.
the grouchy man.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll give a commentary on this one because I'm just aware of time at the moment because we're running out of time with you, Alex. I know that.
Yeah, I just can't go 3 hours again like last week.
Yeah, no, I know, and you've got to drop someone off somewhere. So, would
Yes,
you
that's
like
right.
would you like to give your commentary, and then we'll move on?
Oh, well, who's a good boy? This guy is
Very good boy.
right here.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah, great job. I like the fact that he's made that scar on his right fork prominent.
yes,
And,
yes, I'd agree with that.
That's adds a lot of character to the book.
And I'd say with
the
the
model itself is.
Yes.
Sorry?
I'd say with the uniform that he's been doing, I don't think that there's anything different to say to anything that we said last week. Like, it's all done really well, but I don't think any of our commentary would change on it. So, next up, we got Brushstroke, and we see that he's done a significant update.
Oh yeah,
And he's
added
trying to
the
keep up
golds.
with the Joneses.
Yes, keep
So
up.
he's being pushed by you two.
Oh yes, of course.
But speaking about being pushed around by you two, I'm gonna move on from that one because it is just a whip, but it's great to see whips like this. These really do help. So next up, we've got Calvinoni. Would you like to say anything on Calvinoni's stuff? Some various terrain pieces and objective markers and skulls.
Yeah, good job. Seems terrain painting is a beast in and of itself, which is
Yeah.
there's a lot of elements of miniature painting, but it's a different beast entirely in a lot of ways. And I mean, you don't spend nearly as much time on these as you do pictures that you try and get to us. And so for what he's got and what he's done a great job.
Yeah, and
looks like a fun game.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think this is some Dungeons and Lasers stuff, which is just more like they do sort of like generic terrain, so that you can use it for lots of games. And
Always good.
we've loved the Dungeons and Lasers stuff. And like, I look at it, and like when I think of it, I'm like, it's the spot. It does what it's meant to do. So we will move on from that one because I think like there's there's nothing wrong with it for tabletop. I think it does exactly what it's meant to do. Next up, we've got our local celebrity. Would you like to read out?
Getting these lads in right at the very end of the day. I hate how long the troops in this mainline unit take to paint. I hate how much detail Mr. James Workshop Esquire himself has included for whatever reason. I hate that I am 100% going to have to do this again in the future. At least these boys look pretty good, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, so we'll get your thoughts, Alex.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I will probably never collect Chaos Army.
Yeah.
Chaos Trim, Chaos Detail is just, yeah, torturous. But what he's got and what he's done a great job. I have no keen to see what basing scheme he comes.
Yeah, well, I think like basing sort of on the end of his agenda, but there's just one thing that I would like to do. So I don't think that this is exclusive to Chaos. I think that this is just the sort of new Games Workshop problem, because one of the things that I'm just sort of bringing up in the background is this guy here. And take a look at the level of detail. I have to say, I don't disagree with him. Like, there's so many little bits and pieces everywhere that you gotta get done. Like, and one of the videos that we sort of have planned is it's about detail creep, and it's about the terrain project that I've been doing, which is almost done. But it's the worst time I've ever had painting, which is going to be contrasted with another video, which is the most fun I ever had with miniatures. And I just think it's detail creep with Games Workshop, and I have to say, I really agree with Will. It's too much. But that's me. I will move on to the next bit. And if you guys are a big fan of the YouTube channel, please take a look at this. We're having that same problem again when we did our subscribe thing. There's like only 200 views on it. We don't know why. We'll move on. Alright, so... Alright.
We got Calvinoni, and he's got a nice joke to share.
Yes, he does. Would you, who wants to read it out?
Alex should read it.
Alright, Alex, would you like to read the meme?
Playing miniature games. Oh, yes, very good. Not playing games, just painting the miniatures. Buying the miniatures and never painting them.
Oh!
Yes, I do believe it's...
I could not bring myself to.
But I do like some of the discussions in here, and yes, it was very fun. But let us move on to our very own Katie. Would you like to read out?
Yes. We've got finished character level GW's Wildercore Hunters Trailblazer. Something different that I did on this mini was what I used scaled 75's black leather as the highlight for the black leather, and as the shadow color everywhere else. Well, have to keep plugging away on the wall.
All right, Alex, what do you reckon?
Love this one. He's done a really, really great job. I think everything. But it's not overly vibrant. It's not. Oh, it's just really love the foot face. That's a lot of storytelling.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to comment on.
Fantastic.
So I think that this is the piece de la resistance. But there's another thing that I want to pick up on this one. So take a look at this picture here, right? Now, it's significantly brighter than all of the other ones.
Yeah.
So I think it might just be the fact that these other photos aren't quite as bright. If it is as colorful as it is here, I think great, fantastic, right? I know the vibe that he's going for with it. You know, he wants it to not be absolutely popping off. But yeah, I think if it I don't like it as dull as this, but I do really love it like this.
I do think that it was an issue with the lighting.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
But I love what he's done with the base, where
Yes.
it seems like it's the dirt has been moved around or scratched at or
I
something.
think it's more like a mud.
Yeah, like you've got patches of wet mud and like what's this action? I don't know how to say.
Scratching?
Like, yeah, like it's been scraped a bit, and then you've got like these weird patches of grass that's been torn up and put elsewhere, like as you would with muddy ground, and I thought that was fantastic. And it gives so much character, but you don't lose any important detail, like the footprint is still in good show. All that's great. I think, like Alex said, it really tells a fantastic story.
It does tell a fantastic story, and like, I almost know this exact terrain. I've almost, been chasing after some farm animal in this, when I was after the rains, and you're just like...
Picking up dirt and
well,
grass.
you don't kick up dirt when it's like this. You sink into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, just absolutely fantastic. Love it. All right. Next up, we have James Victor. Now, would you like to read out that?
I can. Super unhappy with how this turned out after the wash. Any suggestions on how to fix it? 3 months into painting, aiming for tabletop quality, and yes, he's supposed to look grungy and dirty, but I screwed up and overdid the wash. Edit, thank you for the tips with photography. Just waiting on sunlight / a lamp to take better photos. This is the best I can do at 4 a.m, unfortunately.
Yeah. You had something that you wanted to say about this one, Alex.
Yeah, just very quickly, I was going to give a small tutorial with lighting and photography in general, rather. Grab a sheet of paper, just lean it from the floor against a wall or a book or something like that. Have your light source in the... Preferably you've got a daylight bulb. Diffuse it, as like I said before.
Here's how you take a good miniature photo.
Yep.
First thing you need is a box.
You can just using your mobile phone. Most mobile phones these days have a pro function. Just make sure that you've got a good exposure. The temperature is set to about 5,600 Kelvin-ish light. So yeah, just do that. Make sure things are in focus. Don't flash.
Yeah, don't
no,
flash.
never flash. Never flash.
It's never going to be flattering for you. Just a quick tip for if you want to sort of bring it back from the edge with the wash here, especially on the arm. My recommendation would be to take some sponge and use a sponge to your original paint color, the purple, over the top of the washes. That still gives you that grim, dark, grungy.
Yeah. That could work real well. That could be quite nice. Yes.
So that's how I would save this work.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right. I think we should move on.
We've got Lance, and while working on a few more of these, clipped the second weapon and added the shields. Hand-painted shields, emblems. Not as good at that as I once was, but soldier on.
I
reckon the emblems look pretty good. What do you reckon, Alex?
Yeah, the fact that you're doing hand-painted emblems puts you above most others, so don't knock yourself.
Yeah.
Practice makes improvement, so carry on.
Yeah, and there's one thing that I want to point out, because look, let's take a look at where people have improved. And I have to say, remember how Lance used to be with his basing? This is fantastic. This is what I was talking about before. Just 3 elements. You got your grass there, you got your tuft there, you got your rock. Done skis.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not talking about anything more than that. I'm just saying, that's it. That's all you need. And look how nice it looks.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fantastic base. Like
the Highlands.
Yeah, the base rimming isn't as clean, right? The only reason I point that out is because like this is something that he's been working on throughout. But look at that level of improvement, and that's what you should focus on. You should focus on where you were and where you are now.
Yes.
But we'll move right along because
it's
time is short.
Joseph, I've just finished base coating the flesh. The cat goes on her base. There's a cat. Oh, there's the
next
cat.
picture.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
And I think it's just classic whip, you know.
Yeah, and he's gone for a much more vibrant color with the yellow sash and a muted teal color for the dress.
Yeah, I think that's some good contrast. But let's finish it off with Alex's final piece de la resistance.
Would you like to read?
Sure. Finished basing him, added verdigris to the crest on top of him there. See the minor battle damage there on the knees. And some pigment powder on the base legs and coat. But I think for the moment I'm going to give a bit of a chill and head back to my squeak.
Yeah. So the only thing that I would comment, right, is the level of difference between the two of them. So like when I look,
very deliberate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah, I know. But like when I take a look at it, right? The thing is, what is a deliberate choice, and what doesn't read as a deliberate choice are two different things, right? And I think, like, for example, like that spider web crack just looks so fantastic. And I think maybe instead of like these deep scratches and such, right? I reckon maybe don't go as intense as you've gone here, but just like minor scratches to show that he's at least still been through it. Because I think at the moment, the story that I'm reading is that these guys have been taking the blows for him. Right? And I'm not saying that you didn't make deliberate choices. I'm saying how it reads to sort of the general public, or at least to me. Well, what do you think, Sonny?
I unfortunately have to agree. When I look at it just framed with these two guys, it looks like he's taken his friend here for a ride, and it's just like, all right, buddy, you're gonna act as cannon fodder for me while I stand here looking nice and pretty.
Give orders from the back.
Yes, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, that's I mean, kind of picking up what I'm putting down. I mean, I know that he's still evil. A Terminator. He's still going to be out there and bigger things. But the thing that I'm trying to say is that, one, he's in the back, which means he's not always going to be at the front lines cutting someone's face off.
Yeah.
And two, he's more skilled and not getting hit as much. So you're kind of picking up what I'm putting down. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that the storyteller I'm trying to put down, whether it's, you know, not, is coming across. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Like I said, I just think not
a little bit of scratches. Will do it good.
Not like the same level, and like I can understand being tired. That's one thing that I can get. Like I'm not sure if I skipped over it or if I didn't post it or what happened, but I remember
I think you did post the picture of the pods.
Yeah, but
I don't know why it's not here. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know how I've stuffed up on that one. Maybe it will be in my things, or maybe I posted it on my personal thing for some reason. Maybe
you did, because I really feel like I remember seeing a post.
No, it says in WAYPN, but for some reason it's just not coming up. So
I'm gonna see if I can click on your face, and then that'll bring places. Okay, there you are.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm happy to show myself.
Yeah, it's not really here. No, it's not here. It's not here.
Do you know the ones that I'm talking about? Yeah, they seem to have disappeared.
Yeah, not.
Oh, okay. Well, such is life.
The Zuck is suck, as we say.
Yeah, well, it seems like the Zuck once again has taken from me.
He's
but
swiped.
But let us finish off. All right, so with the short time that we've got left, Alex, is there anything that you would like to say? I'm trying to remember the question. Is there anything that we're not talking about that we should be talking about?
Oh, way to put me on the spot. Thank you. Idiot gut reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps. No. I'm pretty happy with the. I don't spend a huge amount of time on social media. I mean, the only things I do on social media is to. Heavy metal. It's an Australian.
Yeah, and I think that's healthy because I think unfortunately social media drives us a bit mad. But is there anything in not on WAYPN but in the hobbying community in general that you think we should be talking about?
I haven't given it any thought, if I'm honest.
All right, cool. Well, I'll throw it out there. So for me, guys, I think one, I'm in love with WAYPN. I think we have just such a fantastic community, and I want to say big thanks to you, Alex. Big thanks to Justin. Having people on really changes the vibe for us because we no longer feel like we're being judgmental. We no longer feel like we're
the only ones giving feedback. And
yeah. And
like as if you gotta listen to us, these only two people's opinions matter sort of thing.
Yeah, and it feels like it is what it should be, which is like the community, because I think community is so important. It helps make people more sane, you know, like I do believe you were talking earlier about Army Painter, and when you said I was saying I'm not sure if I could trust the reviews because everybody was paid for their reviews, I think it was, or something. What do you call it?
Sponsored reviews.
Sponsored, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You said
Most of the ones that I listen to aren't sponsored reviews. They get them sent for free with no.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like
They're
that.
very upfront. And this was sent to me after positive one. It's just.
Yeah, but I
So-
feel like it's very similar with that, you know.
Mm.
But anyway, continue. You had a point after that. Yeah, sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no! I was just saying that. I think that the hobby community as a whole, especially when it comes to reviews and things, is for the most part pretty open, upfront, and honest about if. And most that I've listened to on YouTube and straight up won't accept paid.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just say, "Oh, if I'm going to give, it's going to be my own thoughts and similar to how sometimes James Workshop does it."
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I want to say is try new things. Try the other stuff that's out there. Don't be stuck in a hobby rut, and I think our community is really good for that. Like, we've got people painting Marvel stuff, we've got people painting Warhammer stuff, we've got
Dungeons
people...
and lasers.
Yeah, like, all of this variety of stuff, and that's the biggest thing. Don't be afraid of a bit of criticism, and I think that's going to be it for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
We say it together now. We say it together.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Keep
those brushes
brushes
wet.
wet.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye-bye.